Hey, fourth grade. It's Mrs. Manzi with our Read Aloud today. It's this book um, I found. It's called Carl the Complainer. It's written by Michelle Knudsen, illustrated by Marianne Coca Leffer. We are going to think about the author's message or the theme um, by the time you're done reading. I want you to think, what did the author want you to take away? Was the author trying to teach you throughout this story? Here we go. My friends say I complain a lot. They even call me Carl the Complainer. But hey, some things are just so annoying, like TV jingles that get stuck in your head, and paper cuts, and mint chocolate chip ice cream that's not the right shade of green. It's 5 o'clock, the time the town park closes. I get a drink on the way out. Water is never cold enough, I tell my friend Dale. Look on the bright side, he said. At least it's wet. Dale always looks on the bright side. It's really annoying. 5 p.m. is way too early for the park to close, I complain for the millionth time. Dale rolls his eyes. If it really bothers you, maybe you should try to do something about it instead of just complaining all the time. We turn down Dale Street. At least we've got a town park. He goes on. Look. I know, I say, laughing. Look on the bright side. Dale starts laughing. Keep it down out there, Dale's next door neighbor yells. Sorry, Mr. Henry, we both call out. We go into Dale's house. I show Dale a cool website, but ads pop up. Then four more. Pop-up ads are so annoying, I complain. I start clicking them all close. Wait, says Dale. There's a petition to save Power Friends. I want to sign it. I love that show. Why bother, I say. The best shows always get canceled. It's so annoying. That's what the petition is about, Dale explains. If the network sees that a lot of kids like the show, they might keep it on. Can anyone start a petition? Dale shrugs. Sure, I guess. Why? Maybe we should start one, I say. A petition to keep the park open later. Great idea, Dale says. But how do we do it? We look at each other. We don't have a clue. There's always the internet, says Dale. A few clicks later, we find a how-to site about petitions. Perfect petition pointers. Give it a title. For example, petition to make Bigfoot the new school mascot. Say whom it is addressed to. Say who is sending it. Say what you want to do or change. Get people to sign it. The more people, the better. Give it to a person or a group who has the power to do what you want to get done. Dale points to number 6. Who decides about the park hours? I don't know, I tell him. So we go to the park and check out the sign. Hanford Town Council, I read. What's that? A woman hears me and turns around. It's a group of people who decide things for the town, she says. We tell her about our petition, and she tells us that we have to talk at a council meeting. There's one next week, she adds. Dale and I write up the petition and make copies. Then we get our friends together and tell them about our plan. I'll help collect signatures, says Laura. Me too, adds Tony. It would be great if the park stayed open later. Mary and Pete want to help also. We all take copies and split into teams. My parents are happy to sign. That's 2 names already, I say. This will be a snap. But Mrs. Monroe next door says, sorry kids, now's not a good time. At the next house, Mr. Adams listens to about one sentence. Not interested, he grumbles. Maybe we should try some place with more people, I suggest. How about the mall, Dale says. So that's where we go. Want to sign our petition? I ask a friendly looking girl. Are you giving away free stuff? She replies. No, I say. Oh, I thought you were. She walks away. We try the train station, we try the markets, but most people are too busy to even listen to what we have to say. We all meet up at Dale's. Nobody's had much luck. This is so annoying, I groan. There must be more people who want the parks open later, says Laura. That's it, I shout. We should be talking to people at the park. Yes, everybody yells. Quiet down out there, Mr. Henry booms. We better go inside and start on plan B, Dale whispers. We sit around Dale's kitchen table and start brainstorming. I'll bake cookies to give away, says Tony. People will come for cookies, and then we'll tell them about the petition. Great, says Pete. I'll make lemonade. We'll need signs, too, Mary chimes in. Dale grabs some markers, and we get to work. We set up in the park early Saturday morning. The sign looks great. Lots of people stop at the tables. They eat cookies, they drink lemonade, and most of them sign the petition. By 6 o'clock, we have 99 signatures. If we could just get one more, we'd have an even 100, I say. Who haven't we asked? There's always Mr. Henry, says Dale, but good thinking. Let's go. Good thinking, I tell him. Let's go. But, Dale repeats, I lead the way to Mr. Henry's. No one wants to ring the doorbell. You should do it, Dale, says Tony. It was your idea. Dale gulps and presses the bell. Mr. Henry opens the door. Hi, Dale starts. We were wondering if maybe you would sign our petition to keep the park open later. The park hours are just fine, Mr. Henry growls. He starts to close the door. Wait, I call out. Mr. Henry, you're always complaining that we make too much noise. So maybe you should help us do something about it. Oh, really? Like what? He snaps. You could sign our petition, I reply. If the park's open later, we can stay there instead of playing in the street. And by the time the park closes, we'll all be so tired that we'll just want to go inside. There'd be a lot less noise. Mr. Henry stares at me. Dale and the other kids stare too. Just when I'm ready to give up, Mr. Henry smiles. You actually have a point there, son, he says. Tell you what, I'll sign your petition. I'll even get some folks in my writing group to sign it too. You're a writer? I ask. Sure, that's why I need quiet. Do you think I yell at you kids just for the fun of it? We end up with 108 names. I hope that's enough, I say. The meeting is tomorrow. You better practice your speech, Dale says. My heart starts pounding. I forgot I'd actually have to get up and talk in front of everyone. Don't worry, Dale tells me. You'll be great. You're the best complainer I know. I'm very nervous on the night of the meeting. The council is sitting in front of the room. First, a lady stands up and tells them that dog licenses are too expensive. Next, a man talks about putting a traffic light on Elm Street. Then, it's my turn. Good luck, whispers Dale. My friends and I love the park, I say, but it closes at 5 p.m., and that's way too early. I hold up the petition. All the people who sign this want the park to stay open later. I don't know, says the man with the mustache. Is it a good idea to have kids playing in the park after 5? It's better than having them run around the street, a lady in the audience replies. That's when I notice Mr. Henry. We do play outside in the street when the park closes, I say. Sometimes the noise bothers other neighbors. I grin at Mr. Henry. Keeping the park open would solve that problem too. Mr. Henry smiles, but the council members are still arguing. What if they say no? We could close the park at sundown. We'd have to order new signs. The park is always closed at 5 o'clock. I think it's a good idea. Adults would enjoy the later hours too. A lot of people have signed this petition. It's time for the vote. I hold my breath. All in favor of keeping the park open until sundown? Asked the lady with the glasses. One by one, the council members raised their hands. I can hardly believe it. Our petition worked. Everybody claps and cheers. Dale gives me a high five. We did it, he says, and the best part is now you'll have one last thing to complain about. Was my complaining really that bad, I ask. Yep. Dale laughs. It was, I know, I say with a grin, really annoying. The end. So, boys and girls, my question for you is, what do you think the author was trying to teach us throughout the story? What do you think the theme or the overall message of this story was? Feel free to replay this for a parent, a sibling, or just to listen to for fun again. Have a great day.